This is about to be the longest continual road trip I've ever done in the van. Oh my God, that sounds so cool. So my plan is to pull back the veil on this romantic idea to see how good, bad, or ugly this experience actually is. You know, things that are fun to tell your friends, but are generally not as fun to experience. 12 hours of straight driving has firmly planted us in Santa Cruz, California, which means dispersed camping or free camping, wild camping is virtually impossible because it's such a densely populated area. Lucky for us, the player Josh Becker and his family is letting us camp in the driveway. I still camping in the van, even if it's in somebody else's driveway. Okay, night one. For dinner, we're gonna do a pre-packaged salad from the health food store. It's gonna get the job done, it's gonna fill you up, it's gonna make you feel good about yourself, and it's gonna leave room for dessert. Ever since I stopped drinking, I've been loving these hop water, bubble water things. They kind of taste like beer, but they feel like a bubble water. It's the best of both worlds. Highly suggested, not sponsored. Perfectly adequate. If your standards are low, everything either meets or exceeds them. Night one is great because you're ambitious, excited, and sleeping in the van is still kind of novel. I slept great. I can't believe it. Here's a slight dark reality. Certain corners just become trash collectors because there's no room for actual trash. Well, this is my trash. It's just too small for anything. It's got one cardboard box and now it's full. Oatmeal breakfast. I predict many oatmeal breakfasts. Can't help myself. / don't have a choice. I haven't seen the sun in like 7 months. Sunblock is the worst, but it's slightly less worse than sunburns and much less worse than skin cancer. All right, Monterey, California, new camp spot. The weather's fantastic, and there's even a view. Time for a snack and to just decompress. I got a new little camp set up for the van. It's from GSI, and I like this little, this is my frying pan. Look at this adorable thing. Come on. It's also a lid to the pot. This is great. I thought this would be kind of a cool snack. It's a whole wheat spinach filled flatbread. I think you just eat it the way it is, but I'm gonna crisp it up in my new pan and cool. Uh-oh, am I burning it? These are good. Yeah. We're about to go on a bike ride, but first, Josh Becker, what PSI are you actually aiming for?
About 32. But I'm at 38 because I knew.
Well, that's a lot.
Oh, 32.7.
Oh my God, he's got it. This place has a whatever shower scenario, but it was a perfect opportunity for me to wear this cool, weird towel poncho. My wife got it for me. It's from IKEA. What the hell? I don't know what happened. My inverter kind of glitched out on me. I think it might be a faulty connection, but it's really hard to get to. When the van's being utilized, it's like, yeah. So, but luckily, this camp spot actually has power. So I'm doing a little luxury hobo setup here. Come on. Always have a backup source for boiling water. Here is a smart tip for when you're camping. Don't be like me. Don't let the whole world see your mess on your bike. It's just not a pretty scene. The pro move is to bring a little cording and be a civilized person and drape it up like an actual human being. It's such a simple, basic thing. Like, who doesn't have some cording? I don't. Oh, stupid inverter's still broken. I have to cook outside now. Remarkable. It's burnt, yet lukewarm. This is a van dwelling tip that I live by. And that is to switch shoes to van shoes. Now, I use these shoes for a lot of things. I'll use them to shower in if there's a public shower. I'll use them around camp. But basically, they're kind of my indoor van shoes. Like no shoes in the house, sometimes no shoes in the van. Even though the van shoes are still used outside. It just, I don't know, it just makes me feel grounded. Doesn't have to be logical. Doesn't have to make sense. On this episode of Hobo on the Go, we are having a 3-cheese mushroom risotto that I'm going to amplify with a can of sockeye salmon. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I got this Farmer's blend of sprouts because I felt like it was a good way to get like some greens in the mix. No, it's not the best. It's not the worst. I guess that's called like just a happy medium. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I guess that's called like just a happy medium. If I'm being totally honest, these rooftop storage contraptions, I think they're critical for a small vehicle. I think that's true. Downloading movies, it's a nice touch. Feels like you're at home, even if you're not. I told you. This is an interesting little move that I did with the van that would work for anybody that stealth camps in their vehicle. And it's adding a vinyl sheet over the windows in the back that have like a mirror finish on the outside. No mirror, mirror. So during the day, what this does is it makes it so you can't tell if there's anything valuable inside of it at a glance. If you go up close, you can see in, but just looking otherwise, it's just like a mirror. So you just keep moving on. Nothing to see here. 2 cons to this modification. If you're like me, sometimes things don't come out perfectly, which some of them worked, some of them didn't. The other thing is when you put these on the back windows, it makes it just a little bit darker in your rig, which, you know, in a bright sunny place, not a big deal. If you live in kind of an overcast, gloomy place, still not the biggest deal, but it's something to consider. You've been warned. With mirror diffusion, without. But overall, I think the reflective security benefits outweigh any sort of optical disillusion. We're back at Becker's, and I figured, hey, I got a couple moments. Let's see if I can figure out the inverter, because I'm not an electrician. This one's firmly in the category of things I could potentially do. I might have fried this thing with my convection stovetop. I think I blew this fuse right there. I can't tell. I hope I didn't, because then I'd have to fix it. But then I hope I did, because then I would know what's going on. Extra fuses? No. Come on. You know I gotta learn the hard way. Oh yeah, here. And this is a good tip. I suggest having a 10-in-1. Just leave it in your vehicle. It's helpful. It's got all kinds of bits and bobs to help your things that go awry go back to normal, theoretically. Although that didn't really, that wasn't this case. And note to self, if you have fuses in your rig, keep replacement fuses in the rig. That's like a level 7 retired person skill. I'm telling you, I think my favorite van food right now is the charcuterie board. It's a little bit of everything and it's adorable. One of the weirdest things about aging is I'm recognizing myself less and less. Freaking me out. right, this is a tip that's worth sharing. If you've ever got something in your rig that needs to dry out, but you don't want to dry it inside the rig, like I've got this plastic bag, it had spinach in it, it's kind of wet, I don't want it inside. Just bring a magnet, a small magnet, and you can just stick it to the van or any vehicle, it's gonna work. And then that thing can just sit there and dry off. It also works with, you know, hand towels or rags you use for wiping up all the crap that I inevitably spill.
If you see, walk on by.
You know, another thing that I've found really helpful at night is to just have a little beanie or a stocking cap next to me while I'm sleeping. I don't need it every night, but when I do need it, I'm really grateful to have this little thing to cover my head. Just helps warm up everything. All right, I'll see you in the morning. Oh yeah, I took your advice and I got a sleeping quilt. This one's from Zenbivy. It's great. You can either use it just like a regular quilt, or it's got this cording so it can snug up and there's a little spot for your feet. But the top is still open. It's exactly what I needed. I'm so into it. It takes up less space than the sleeping bag, it's super comfortable, and it'll pack down for bike packing. Perfect. And I ended up going with a full kit, so I'm primed up for a bike packing session, which, who wants to go bike packing? Do you want to bike packing? That'd be great. Two indispensable pieces of kit that made this trip that much better is a good pair of tech pants. You only need one pair, you can wear them the entire time. If you have to wash them, you could easily do it in a hotel bathroom. For this trip, I used these new tech pants from Ornat. Super happy with them. They look good, easy wearing, and you can ride a bike seamlessly. I love it. The other bit, merino wool underwear. I'm telling you, if you gotta go a couple days, you'll be fine. If you need to wash them in the hotel bathroom, you'll also be fine. You could probably even get away with only having one pair of merino underwear. I don't suggest it, but that's how good they are. And the drive by the numbers, 1,511 miles, several days, too long to mention. Ow, son of a bitch. And more elevation than you can stick a shake at. So I did some digging and I officially blew the fuse. So I got a new one, I put it in and now it works. I know why that happened. It's because the watts were set to 1,300. They should just be down there at 600. Live and learn.